Episode 1.
Episode 1 of
Chippy
Tee. Yeah, let's chuff in, have it. Can you get my reaction? I think it's going to be like Keith Lemon talking to himself all the time, isn't it?
Well, we've got your radio voice to counterbalance it, so we'll be all right, won't we?
I don't have a radio voice, I don't put this on. This is me real. Right, so Chippy Tee, it's a podcast about what? About life and screen printing and what we've gone through this week. So we'll kick right off. What was the highlight of your week, Danny?
Highlight of my week? Right, then, let me have a think about this.
Yeah, best thing that's happened to you all week, but only in the shop.
Only in shop. Something good happened today and I can't remember what it was. I got a refund. It's slightly not print related, so that's a good start. But I got a refund from BT for paying for 2 broadband lines since 2020. So I always wondered why my broadband was like a couple £100, because that seems excessive. And it turns out I've been paying for 2 of the buggers.
Did you not work it out?
No, it took me about 2 or 3 years to work it out. So that was a bit of an highlight.
You're like a dream customer.
Yeah, no. Do you imagine? We thought we got away with robbing me here. And
they didn't tell you. They didn't ring you up and tell you, did they? You found out.
No, well, what we did is they said, your contract's about to run out. And then as I was sort of thinking, well, you know what, I'm going to be tight and I'm going to shop around. And I sort of looked over what I'd been billing, what I'd been paying, just to see if I can find it a bit cheaper. And then I was like, why is it coming out to like nearly £200? And
wow.
I give him a ring, obviously, and I was like, is this your number? Never heard of this number in my life. So somebody's got a phone number somewhere, and they've been having broadband for free, and I've been paying for bugger.
It's got to come down your line, surely.
No, it was like a totally different line, honestly. I don't even know how I've done it. Anyway, I'm getting a bit of money back, so that'll soften the blow.
Oh, that's a highlight. That's a highlight.
It's not a bad one. It's been one of those weeks, to be honest. It's all been going a bit tits
you
up.
Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. If you mention it out loud that you've had a good week, next week's going to go to shit.
Oh no! I've had a rubbish week, so next week should be beautiful. Right. So we might be all right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then we'll lead on. What's the worst thing? What's the worst thing that's happened this week?
Hey, so let me get my list out. I mean, semi worst thing, but in hindsight, now I've had time to cool down. It was quite funny. Somebody parked the car right in front of my door, the door to my shop, and we're talking about like an inch away from my door. So I went out, I opened my door to go outside and was like, smacked it against this car door, and we're stuck inside. And we've been stuck for a good hour today. We were stuck inside.
No, you're actually trapped in your own shop.
She trapped us in our shop.
Wow.
And luckily, it was only me and Jade, and we wasn't desperate to get out. I mean, it would have been nice to get a bit of fresh air, but we had to sort of just hang out at the window upstairs, waiting for her to turn up. And then when she turned up, she wasn't very apologetic, to be honest. So,
well, she looked at you like it was your fault for leaving the building there.
Oh, it was totally my fault. Totally my fault. I mean, she said
you
sorry.
Put some signs up.
When people say sorry, but like you just know if I don't mean it.
No.
Anyway, yeah. So that put her down. But in hindsight, I've had time to chill out about it now, and yeah, whatever. Things happened, though. It's funny.
That's not too bad. I think if that's your highlight and low light, I think you've had quite a good week, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, there's a few more. I mean, we've had a few. It must be the heat. The heat must be getting to me, because I've made a few silly little mistakes printing. Printed a job a little bit too low, and they've sent us photos and stuff by email, so I've got them to replace. We had the mother of all newbie mistakes, the type of thing that you do when you first start screen printing. We had an email, and it was a photograph of the print basically falling off, cracking and falling off. And this one's
cured.
Not cured. Now, this one's a bit of a mystery to me, because the only thing I can come to, I've got 2 possible reasons why. One, we've had the window open and there's been that much of a draft that it's just, cooled the dryer down, which in this heat, I'm finding it hard to believe.
No, it's not been very drafty this week.
No, it hasn't, and it's this is why I'm struggling with that one. And then option 2, I mean, even this is a bit of a stretch. So there was acid wash t-shirts, and I'm sort of thinking, is there a bit of like acid wash residue? I don't know, whatever the type of detergent they use in the manufacturing process. Has that just reacted with it badly? Or, I guess actually option number 3, they've just tumble dried the buggers and ironed them and all the rest of it. So
You know the golden rule: customers lie.
yeah. Well, we've been.
Did you put it in the dryer? No, I didn't put it in the dryer at all.
I washed it about 3,000 degrees. I don't know why it's coming off.
Yeah.
But we did what you have to do. We said, look, send them back. Let me run them through dryer one more time just to be double sure. If I run them through dryer and they wash fine, it's all my fault. And we replace them, no questions asked. But that's the type of thing I've not seen since bleeding hell. What's this started? We got that sort of problem nailed years ago.
It's always a worry though, isn't it? Because you do your best, you get everything printed right, they look gorgeous, you're really proud of them, you stick them on Instagram, everything's great, and then 2 days later you get a photo of one that's actually completely washed off, and you think, oh shit. But I tell you what's worse. What's worse than that is the guy that doesn't complain and just tells his mates. You know, it's like, oh, I got some shirts printed at flipping sweet. They were really cheap, and now I know why.
I know. And the thing with that is as well, it's better to tell us, because if our temperatures on dryer are off for some strange reason, we just keep printing order after order after order. Jesus, we're going to have a hell of a replacement bill coming up. So yeah, always best to tell people. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Do you check it? Do you check your temperature?
Yeah. We use a temp.
Be honest, straight up honest, don't lie.
Oh, of course we do. Not like every single job. I know it's going to be about right. But I check it every now and again.
You put a piece of bread in, and if it comes out light brown, it's done, and if it comes out dark brown, it's a bit high. Go on,
a little microwave pizza, and if it tastes nice, it's good to go. No, I used to have them little temperature strips, the little sticky ones.
Sericol used to do them, yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of them left over. We've got a little.
They only went to 160 though.
Yeah, well, I think the theory was I can't remember exactly, but I think you get like a row of white boxes, and if all of them turn grey, or maybe there's like a sweet spot, you're pretty cured. And to be honest, I just use the stretch test.
Trust me, I've seen every test possible. I've seen guys at the end of the dryer sniffing it, convinced that they can smell the white spirit solvent in it, and if they can no longer smell the white spirit, then it's definitely cured. I mean, I've got some sensitive equipment on the front of my face, but I don't think I could pick up the solvent.
Yeah, I don't do a smell test.
I've done the stretch test. I've done people with the drop of solvent on it, drop of trike on it, a drop of water on it. I've seen all sorts, but even the temperature strips, they're not bad. But the ones I saw only went to 160, and most ink needs a little bit above that. Donut probe is definitely the way forward. I know they're about 300 quid.
I want to say price
it's the only way.
Yeah, I think if you're going to do it...
Yeah, they're 300 quid, but what was the value of that job?
Oh, yeah, true. Well, more than 300 quid.
If it were more than 300 quid, then if you save one, then, you're on your way.
Yeah, of course. I think that's...
But then once you buy it, you've then got to put into place, when do I test it? 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, when I feel like it, when the job goes down. It's all an added worry to what you're already worrying about in the first place. So you've got to use it with a bit of common sense.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing it for every job.
Probes.
Yeah.
No. Get the... once you trust your dryer, you're pretty much okay. I've had dryers that I don't trust.
This is why I won't ever touch... I used to do. I won't ever touch puff inks and stuff like that, because I don't want to mess about with my dryer settings. I used to do.
Once you've set it, that's it.
Yeah, I just leave it set. There was a time where if somebody asked me for puff additive or like high build, I'd have a crack at it. I'd have a crack at it out. And I think you learn over time. Just stick to what you know what I mean? The more simple I can keep things for me, the better. So my dryer's set, and I rarely adjust it. And I know it's always going to work, apart from about one time last week.
When a strange Arctic wind blew in through that top window that you had open.
I tell you. I wish it bleeding would. The way I felt this week in this little...
It's been a bit sticky, hasn't it?
It's bloody warm, I tell you.
It's a strange industry, isn't it? Because in the summer... Well, in the winter, everybody wants to be a screen printer. Because in the winter, you're walking about in shorts, everything's great, it's a nice balmy 20 degrees in the shop at all times. And everybody's like, oh, you're so lucky, I've got to work outside, and I've got to work in all this cold. And then come the winter, nobody wants to know you. They're like, oh, how do you work in here? Get me an ice cream. Oh, it's so hot. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a thermometer I'm just curious to see how hot it actually gets. I reckon we're knocking on the door of 40. I reckon we're pretty close. So
I've worked in loads of big shops, and it's always everybody asks the question, how hot does it have to be until we go home? I'm like, what? How hot does it have to be until we go home? There must be some sort of, we've got European directives on how straight our bananas should be and when we should empty our bins and all this. So surely there's a European directive on how hot does it have to be before we can go home on full pay. And I mean, I'm like you. I'm from Yorkshire. I don't like spending money or giving money away. So nope, you're working until you can't work no more.
When it's your shop, you just get on with it, don't you? But it must be Jasmine and Jade are not enjoying life right now. I've offered to.
That's because you keep taking clothes off, and it's just not pretty for anybody.
No, I have to limit myself.
There's a limit, yeah.
Oh yeah, luckily Jade and Jasmine are only here till 12 most days.
All right, so after 12, you're just down to your shorts then and flip flops.
That's it. 12 o'clock, clothes off, doors locked. Printing half naked because at the minute it's the only way to get through it. So it's all right. I think we're going to get an 18 rating. So
yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. There's no way I can do an hour without swearing, so you're all right.
I think I've already ruined that one for us. That one's out of the window already. Expletive content. I've got a question for you, Em. Let's have a question. I don't really know about this. Obviously, this
sounds like you've done preparation and you've got little notes and everything.
I have not got a Word document half open on the left-hand side of my screen. This is all off at top at dome, is this?
Yeah.
Impromptu, off cuff. Right, where was I on my list? No, I'm kidding. Obviously, you've travelled all over the world, setting up various shops and stuff like this. But did you ever actually have a shop? Did you have your own shop?
No, it's never been my money.
No.
I'm really good at spending other people's money. I've never actually put my own wallet on the line. I've been high up in the chain. I've been directors, but I've never actually gone balls deep with the money and gone, right, okay, house is on the line, got to print some T-shirts. Yeah, and I'm not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing. From my point of view, I think it's a good thing. I always treat it like it was my money. And I always was committed to it, but never actually had skin in the game, which sounds awful when I say that out loud. It really does, but it makes me sound like a mercenary. But never actually had an actual print shop. But I'm not retired yet. There's always time.
No. Do you know what? I think I think anybody listening to this will appreciate screen printing is such a harsh learning curve. If you can learn in an environment where you don't have to worry about where the next bill's coming from, how are you paying the next bill, or worrying about growing a business, or quoting people and invoicing and answering emails and all the stresses and stuff that come with your own business, if you can learn in an environment where all you care about is improving your screen print and learning how to print.
It's a strange one because there's no certification.
No,
I say there's no certification. I've employed kids with certificates straight out of university, fully qualified in screen printing.
Right.
And they would not know the right end of a squeegee from the wrong end.
Oh, it's crazy.
Honestly, if you give them a squeegee, they try and print with a wood bit.
Yeah.
And they've done full qualifications, they've got full courses, they've got a diploma on the wall, and they're not worth a toss. And I've met guys who struggled at school academically, couldn't really get on in the normal way of life, and they were the best printers you've ever seen.
Yeah.
So it's a strange industry that we're in. We've got to understand that to start a screen printing firm, I reckon if you put 150 quid down, you could be printing tomorrow.
Yeah, of course.
You get a little starter kit of ink, you get a hinged table, you get a hot air gun or your mum's air dryer.
Yeah. I'll stick it in wood.
Even an iron and some transfer paper, some silicone paper. And you can start printing your mate who's just started a band who are horrendously awful, but you don't care because they want to sell them 20 T-shirts at 20 quid a go. And you can start printing them tomorrow. You fast forward, and some of the shops I've spent, the budget's been over $1 million.
Oh, it's crazy.
You know, so it's a huge window from just starting out in your mum's back bedroom for 150 quid to organising a 25,000 square foot area with all the latest equipment, which makes screens, strip screens, exposes, develops, you know. Never mind the actual pushing the ink through the holes bit.
It's an argument and debate on should you serve your apprentice, because honestly, if I'd had the budget to get all gear from the start, I don't honestly think I would be the printer I am today.
Well, no, because you start off with a crappy one, and then you print enough T-shirts to buy a not so crappy one.
Yeah, of course.
And then you print a few more T-shirts and maybe some sweats, and that pays for the actually it's all right one.
Yeah.
And you'll probably admit you've not done yet.
Oh, of course, no, I've got a long way to go.
I know me and you have spoke. You've got an auto in your sights.
Yeah, one day, hopefully.
You know, and now we're talking about borrowing enough money to sort of
price of an house.
Fancy car money.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. Well, it is where you live, yeah, obviously. So it's a car anywhere else.
They're going up round here. Prices going up. Everybody wants to retire at Seaside, I'll have you know now.
Hey, Brid, or Bridlington, if you're not from there. But Brid is a well sought after place now.
Aye, up there.
You'll be like young blood there now, won't you? Under 50 and that.
You're not wrong, actually. Yeah, I won't say what we used to say about, but no, I won't go into that one. Actually, that's definitely an over 18 one. But
that's not for broadcast. Yeah, we'll do that one after.
Yeah, it's West Yorkshire's retirement home, and this is what they say.
West Yorkshire.
There's a phrase.
You're in the East Riding.
I am now, but everybody moves from West Yorkshire, you see, like me. So there's a phrase over here, and it's purely specifically to Brid. And what they do is they call anybody from West Yorkshire, call them Wesies. So I'm a Wesie. I'm originally from West Yorkshire, and I'm a Wesie.
Where are you from?
Well, I'm born in Cass. You know Castleford.
Were you?
Yeah. Well, actually, I was born in Pont.
You don't like rugby then?
Oh, I used to play it as well. I used to be pretty half decent. I was born in Ponty, lived in Cass, and then I moved to Selby, which is North Yorkshire. Then I moved to Brid.
Oh, posh.
So I've been all over. Like my accent it's a mix of all three. North.
Yeah, you ain't got an accent, don't you?
I know. You know what I'm saying. I've got a radio voice like you. Posh as all.
I have to practice with my H's and my thes.
The thing is, if you travel, especially in America and stuff like that, you must have to like sort of tone it down a little bit.
I do.
I mean, I would.
I try and sound as much like Harry Potter as I possibly can.
Yeah, this is it.
Because if I just go, hey up, Sidney, how's they doing? What's they doing? Is they all right, kid, or what? There's not a fucking clue any of them know what I'm saying. Yeah, I have to tone down my sarcasm, and I have to start using the word the, and I have to sort of like pronounce things really slowly. Because although when I've had a beer,
oh, that's it.
I look at these people I'm speaking to in different countries, and you can see their eyes have got not a fucking clue what I'm talking about. They're looking at me like, what did he just say? If we just nod, is that okay?
You don't know though. This is the problem we're going to have with this podcast. This is why it's how can it take off? Most people at screen printing industry.
We'll put subtitles on it.
Aye, that's the one.
I think we'll put subtitles on it.
Well, that'll do, yeah.
Comes with subtitles.
Yeah, well, there we go. Sorted that problem. I was thinking about this as well. I had a real moment, and I was just thinking super deep about this, about the podcast and about the impression and just setting the tone from the off. And I was watching a documentary about the Beatles, and just bear with me, this is going somewhere. And,
okay, yeah, you're on a journey. I'll let you go.
And Paul McCartney, he said there was a band that came about in the 70s, and Paul McCartney said to John, "Shit, these might actually be better than us, you know." This was the first time John and Paul had to have a look at themselves and think, there's somebody better than us here. We might have to be a bit worried. And I was thinking, Andy and Dylan from Churchill, maybe they'll have that same revelation when they hear our podcast. And I'm like, and you know what? Deep down, I think me and you both.
What makes you think they'll hear it?
I guess that's true, I guess. We'll never get the same adulation. We'll never get the same applaudits of it. But deep down, they'll know. They'll know. They'll just know in their hearts.
They'll know. Yeah.
Nah, that's if the episode even is.
Yeah. I'm going to say we've got to get there. Yeah. Me and technology have had a fight for about a week.
I don't know.
We finally come to some sort of mutual agreement, but I'm pretty sure technology's winning. And it just sits there looking at me going, "You stupid old man. Just press the big green button." It's more to it than I thought. I'm looking into this and all sound recording and all this stuff. You have to actually get a microphone and everything. It's a bit of a do, but... Yeah, but then when you start Googling it, then you find out that everybody else is an expert and you're the dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
That's my problem. I've been looking around at this and going, hang on, how come everybody else knows about this and I don't? Where have I been for the last 20 years?
This is why we're just doing sound rather than video. It's got nothing to do with the fact that we're both out here in boxer shorts sweating his knackers off.
In ball soup.
Right, shuffle, no. Good grief. I've got a soaking wet tea towel of it.
Videos coming, don't you worry.
Yeah, well,
don't you worry, videos
can come in time for winter. When it's a bit cooler to
when
record.
It's not as warm in your shop.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So whereabouts in the world are you right now? Because you're a man who gets about.
Right now, I do like to, keep moving.
Get about a bit.
I don't like to let the police catch up to me
No.
too quickly, so I have to keep moving. I'm in Cork in Southern. I don't know what to call it. Southern Ireland, Republic of Ireland. I don't know. Whatever you call it, you're going to upset somebody. It's that sort of place, isn't it? So I'm in the Republic of Ireland in Cork.
Not as exotic as your normal
it's beautiful
destinations.
No, but
I'm kidding. I'm sure it's lovely.
It's not bad. It's actually, I'm sat at the side of a river. Looking out, it's gorgeous sunshine. It's a nice evening. So yeah, it's my first time in Ireland, and I quite like it. It's quite nice. Strange because it's Europe.
Yeah.
And it opens that. Everybody's talking about the B word.
Aye.
And it's sort of, what do we say? Do we use the word Brexit or what happens? And they all look at you like, yeah, we could have told you what was going to happen, but you wouldn't listen, would you?
No.
Condescending bastards. You know what I mean? Look at you like, how's that working out for you, Tony?
No, it's...
all right, leave it out.
It's some hard topics that sometimes it's best just to brush over and just not go there because you can't... You're going to upset someone, aren't you? Aye.
Yeah, I go to the bar and go, let's just have a pint of Guinness. Yeah, all right, we're okay, good.
So is it true what they say that Guinness over here tastes nicer than the shit we get out of a can over here?
Right, I'm in the middle of Ireland.
Right.
Hopefully I'm alone in my room, so I'm going to whisper this really quietly.
Oh, I hope.
I don't like Guinness.
Don't you? Not even with blackcurrant?
I don't know.
Bit of blackcurrant in it?
God,
Oh, so nice.
Yeah. I can't. I just can't. I like a beer, a bitter beer.
Nice cold beer.
That we find. No, not a lager beer, a bitter.
A bitter?
Tetris or a John Smith's. Yeah.
Bit of lemonade in it?
No, honestly, what's with it? Stop it. Leave it alone. If you want to put blackcurrant in it, Guinness would do it. If you want to put lemonade in it, Tetley's would put lemonade in it. No, leave it alone. It's one of them that I don't like Guinness anyway. So I've heard that rumour as well, and I wanted to test it. But I've got to be honest, I've got no point of reference because I don't drink it in England. So
can't really compare it, can you?
No, the stouts are nice over here. So like a Murphy's Stout, which is close, that's nice. But again, if you don't buy a pint of Guinness at the bar, it's almost like you're cheating on the bar lady.
Yeah, but just look at you in absolute disgust.
Why don't you want a Guinness? What's wrong with Guinness? What's wrong with you? Oh, you're not from round here, are you?
Yeah, none of your sort, eh?
Okay. So
I got up drinking a bit ago, and I'll be honest, the thought of an icy cold Guinness with a bit of blackcurrant in, and I don't care if it's girly. Honestly, it's so nice. A bit of blackcurrant in it.
See, I stayed away from it being girly. I just said changed.
Oh, yeah. Bleeding hell. We're going to get cancelled already, aren't we? But, yeah. Every now and again I think to myself, why did I stop drinking? Especially in this weather. And you walk past a beer garden and you're like, hey, bloody hell. What I'd do right now. But...
So why did you stop drinking? Tell me why did because you're a bit of a health freak, aren't you? I see you training and
but no, I'm not.
All sorts of shit.
I'm a bugger. I'm the opposite. That's why I had to
what do you
stop.
do? Post an Instagram video lifting weights and then go around the corner and get a big dirty greasy cheeseburger.
No, this is me turning things around a bit. Before before that, I loved a drink, and eating takeaways and kebabs, and chips, and
Chippy Tee.
I realised at some point it's just probably got to lose a bit of weight because I'm getting a bit chubs, so I started doing a bit of weight training and that, and watching what I eat. And I've still not lost any weight, so I don't know how that works. I've actually put weight on. I've gone from about 15 stone to 17.
Don't tell me that old chestnut that muscle weighs more than fat. You're going to pull that one out of the bag, aren't you?
I am,
Muscle weighs more than fat.
You know what it is? I've got into strongman. You know the sport of strongman. You'll have seen it at Christmas time.
Yeah, I saw you were a bit obsessed with that. Yeah,
world's
I've
strongest.
got a customer that does all their work.
I know. I was a bit jealous when I saw it. And they've all got massive guts. So if it's all right for them, I'm going down that route. If anybody asks why I've got such a big belly, even though I take my fitness fairly serious these days, I'm going for that strongman look. Yeah. Big belly, big guns. Let's go with that one.
Oh right, okay. Well, I'm halfway there.
Halfway there, yeah. Where you going? A few push-ups in the morning, you'd be laughing.
Oh, God, no. More like a seesaw, me, with my belly. I was into fitness a while ago. I was a runner. I started running.
Yeah.
I used to smoke 2 packets a day, every day for 25 years.
God.
Really unhealthy. Yeah, I know you think you're unhealthy. I was really unhealthy. And when I stopped 10 years ago now, I needed to get fit because I was putting weight on. But here's the Yorkshire twist. What do all Yorkshiremen not like doing? All people from Yorkshire.
Spending money.
We don't like spending money. Yeah. So I won't pay for a gym membership. So I started running because it were free.
You type bugger. That's so Yorkshire.
I know, yeah. I'm allergic to spending money. It brings me out in a rash.
Oh, no. That's why I've had a shit
week. I
week.
Pay for the... Yeah.
It's on the money side.
Otherwise, I'd be membership.
No.
So I started running, and I really got into running. I ran marathons and got into running every day. And what I found was I could eat and drink whatever the hell I liked.
God.
Because I'm burning about 4,000 calories a day, so it was great.
Where you running
Absolutely
to?
Superb.
You're running to each client? No wonder.
Just about, yeah. I used to do 5K on a morning, 5K on a night, and between 20 and 30K on a weekend.
Jeez, man. Christ.
Yeah, I really, really swapped one addiction for another, swapped the cigarettes for running.
This is what people do, though, isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
If you're going to find an addiction, it's not a bad one, is it, really, running?
No, of course not.
And when the time came eventually, I stopped. But I forgot. Bit of a bad memory. I forgot to stop eating like I was still consuming 4,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
So now I have got no idea what my feet look like at all. I hadn't seen them for years.
Bloody no.
I keep promising myself I'll get back to it and I'll get back running again. And I've got sort of like the most well-travelled running kit in the world.
Yeah.
It's been all over, but it stays in the suitcase because here's a massive logical reason why. And I stay in hotels.
Right.
Every hotel I stay in has a gym, usually top of the range gymnasium. It's got all the workout gear. I don't have to pay any extra. It's all in the price.
Ah.
But to get to the gym, I have to walk past the bar.
Yeah.
And I never get that far.
It's a bugger, isn't it? It's a bugger. We used to have Ale Fridays here at work and stuff, and it's just, yeah, it's a bit of a, gets it way a bit, doesn't it? I had to knock it on head for that reason, really. So, but
Ale Fridays?
Yeah, every Friday, this was going back a bit, we'd say, right, let's go to Morrison's, get a few beers in, and it'd always be like, at the time like all these IPAs and real ales and all that had sort of come onto the scene and blown up. So we're just trying out hot bottles with fancy labels, just because, they look fancy. Half of them tasted awful. Actually, yeah. I'm not even going to say half of them. They all tasted awful. I don't like them at all. But we just used to do it every Friday.
Put some blackcurrant in them, you'll be fine.
I should have done
that.
Drop
a little bit of blackcurrant in top, it'll be fine.
And one of those little umbrellas and a cherry. That'd have been what I needed. Yeah, but so we used to have a couple of drinks on a Friday. But nah.
You say we? How many staff did you have?
Well, this was going back a bit. I had 3. I've never had more than 3. Actually, I'm lying to you. I've had 4. So, flipping sweet as a business, it's almost been 2. The first iteration, don't know if you know my backstory, but I'm basically a bootlegger.
No.
I'm a bootlegger. I used to basically just make knockoff T-shirts, knockoff band T-shirts and sporting icons and stuff like that. And that's how I started. And that's how
Listen, between me and you, I know some really, really big printers who started off printing stuff that was sold on the streets.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to name any names, but there are a lot of big printers that started off with the success, let's say, of things like Spice Girls and Teletubbies.
Yeah.
And people on the street wanting to pay a tenner for a T-shirt with a band name on. So it's no bad thing.
No.
Because you're not doing it now, Danny, are you?
No, I'm a bugger. I wish I were. Well, I don't wish I were. I shouldn't say that, but I wish I were making the money. I think back in them days, I say it like a long time ago, about 10 years ago, it was easy to do, especially on the internet. You could sell on marketplaces and get away with it. Whereas nowadays you can't even list official stuff without them double checking it, and you've no chance now. I'm sure other people are doing it, but they just don't last. They come and go. And apart from that, it's morally wrong anyway, so you shouldn't do it. So
small disclaimer right at the end.
Saved it there, didn't I?
Don't bootleg, kids. It's wrong.
No, don't do it. What put an end to that war? We started getting letters, and one of them were from solicitors in, I think it was Italy, and it were for Metallica T-shirts. We had a few actually, but this particular one was Metallica, and they were basically going to sue us. It turned out years later, I'm sure it was on like Watchdog or something like that. It was basically a scam, and they were targeting people on eBay, and they were looking for sellers doing dodgy stuff, and they were sending out these letters, which looked dead official and everything, and they were a total scam. We had naught to do with them. They were just acting on...
So you very nearly got scammed for being a bootlegger.
Yeah, how ironic's that?
That's karma.
Yeah, but wasn't it? We got some good ones though. We got Jack Daniels, and that came with a proper like a stamped envelope, and like a 3D stamp. I don't mean just like a 99p
embossed.
Yeah, you know what I mean. A proper, I won't say a wax stamp, not quite that good, but from Tennessee and everything. And they were quite good with me. I just said, "Look, I'm real sorry," and sort of grovelled my way out of it. And they said, "Right, don't do it again." So I didn't. And anyway,
I hope the letter is in a glass frame on the wall in the shop somewhere.
It's not on the wall, but I have got it. That's the one I kept, just because it was so fancy. There was a point to this story, wasn't there? I've completely forgot what it was. I've gone on a bit of a tangent.
This was your backstory. So you started off as a bootlegger.
Anyway, yeah, a bit of a bootlegger. Lost everything, lost all my income, because obviously once we lost the ability to sell knockoff stuff, we lost his eBay, we lost his Amazon, lost all that. But at that point, I'd got a pretty big unit, a big glass front, and it was all vinyled up, and I had my logo and everything. And we had the vinyl plotters, the big, large format plotter cutters. So we were doing stickers and banners. Yeah, proper big. I think it was a Mimaki, but same thing. A few heat presses. I had. How many people did I work for me? I had 2 people working for me at the time, full time, myself, and this was version 1 of Flip and Sweet, which I'd built up to what I would consider a fairly big level for me, I would say anyway. And that all came crashing down all of a sudden. Nearly lost absolutely everything. There was a point where I had like an office, and I was sat there in the office, probably lots of points actually, just with my head in my hand saying, what the chuff am I going to do here? Just totally snowballed. And somehow I managed to restart basically. And I'd already bought the screen printing press at the time. I got it there, and it was just sat there. It wasn't really getting used. It was a workhorse, 6x6 workhorse. So it was actually a good press. Yeah. But
second hand.
Yeah, it was second hand. It didn't really line up, and it took me about 5 years to wonder why my prints would always go out of edge. But anyway, and it was even at first
just
as well.
Spread the art. Put some bleed and choke on it, it's fine.
Oh, honestly, like 10 pixel choke and a lot. You'd have to tap it back into place. I'd print, and when it started veering off, I was like, oh, getting hammered out, just tapping it a little bit until I got it back where I wanted.
That's the skill. That's the skill. Knowing how much half a tap is, that was the skill.
This is it. This is where I learnt me. This is my apprenticeship, and we were.
Yeah, you served your time.
Oh, I really have. Flash curing.
Well, you very nearly did serve time.
I probably nearly did. Nah, I never got that bad. But flash curing everything, and anyway, doing it all wrong. I've learnt some lessons. I've learnt some harsh lessons, and I'm pretty sure I'm better off for it now.
Yeah, don't sell Metallica online.
Lessons learned. Better for it now. I think I'm an half-decent printer and a reasonably okay business person now.
Yeah, because you've got to be both, haven't you? It's no good being a good printer if you don't know how to, do all your finance side and keep up to that organised side.
Yeah, it's everything,
There's no point just being a printer.
Nah.
You've got to try and wear lots of hats through the day.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
But you've got people to help you now, so you're not doing too bad.
Yeah, only part-time help, but it's just enough to organise things for me. And the more I can take off of my hands so that I can be stood at the press printing, the better.
Is that where you're happiest?
Yeah.
With a squeegee in your hand?
Yeah, of course. I think...
But we were talking about an auto.
Yeah.
So do you see the value of your product being less if it's produced by an auto?
No.
Or of the same? Because I can tell you now, the guy who buys it and wears it hasn't got a fucking clue and doesn't care.
No.
But for you personally, do you think you're cheating? Do you think you're selling out by using an auto? Or do you think you're just being really clever and actually producing more work?
I honestly couldn't care less if it's printed on an auto. I can't wait to print on an auto. Just to have that tool at my disposal and the ability to fine-tune to such a degree higher than what I possibly could on a manual. I mean, we're talking about squeegee blade angles and adjusting pressures by minute amounts. And honestly, the day I get that auto, I'm just going to sit and sob and just cry and just in just sheer relief. I'm sure it'll be.
I'll come. The day you get your auto, I'll come over to your shop and I will bring you a massive big cold pint of Guinness with some black currant on the top. And we'll sit and just watch it work on its own.
Oh, honestly, that'll be the day. That'll be 10 years of it's been worth it now. I can't wait for that day.
I changed from a manual. I've worked on a manual and an auto. Now, I did work on an auto first, but then I have done manual as well.
Yeah.
And I think you have to have an understand. I just went all posh radio voice then, didn't I?
You did,
I think you've got to have. You've got to have an understanding of how the blade pushes the ink through the holes.
Yeah.
In order to then take that knowledge and apply it to an auto press.
Yeah.
I don't mean it's necessary. I don't mean you have to have held a squeegee.
I imagine it's an advantage.
But I think it helps.
Yeah.
You're stood in front of your screen, you've got a squeegee in your hand, and you pull. Please say you pull. If we say you push, we can't be friends.
No, I'm a puller.
So you pull the squeegee. I'm not even lighting that firework. So you pull your squeegee and you can feel it bite.
Yeah.
You can feel the resistance. You know it's printed well. If you closed your eyes, you could almost feel the difference between a good print and a bad print.
Oh, 100%.
Now, when you go to an auto, you lose that.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
But what you do have is, and I don't care how good a printer you are, I consider myself, I can print.
Yeah.
But there's no way I've got the same strength on a Monday morning as I have on a Friday afternoon.
No.
Because Friday, all I want to do is get the fuck out of there and go to the pub. Monday, I'm all fresh and like, right, here we go, let's pull that white plastics all over this big print.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be great. If you remember the sort of like the George Michael Choose Love t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, the big white text.
Big writing, big white text. I got them jobs on a manual carousel and I were crying by 3 o'clock.
It's hard, isn't it?
My arms look like Popeye. I look like a teenage boy who's just found the internet.
I was gonna say, it's good if you want to train forearms, but
my forearms looked awesome.
Yeah.
But it was like, I can't do this for much longer.
No.
So the auto for me meant that once I find that sweet spot where it does print lovely, I can set it. And it's that uniformity, that standardisation. That's what made it for me.
And there's no possibility.
And I won't go back.
No,
I won't go
I'm
back to
sure.
manual now.
I mean, there's no way on this. It's just not possible. You can replicate the identical print over and over and over for even tens
Repeatability.
on a manual.
It's all about repeatability.
Yeah.
No, you can't do it.
You could give me a job for 100 t-shirts, and unfortunately, out of those 100 t-shirts, they're not all going to be the same. Obviously, they're going to be pretty damn close, but
it's commercially acceptable. Commercially acceptable.
That's
The
the
customer
word.
doesn't know at all.
No.
The commercially acceptable. The customer does not have a clue.
Oh, no, this is
and
from
the
a-
customer's happy.
from a
He's
screen
got a
printer's
lovely picture,
perspective. Oh yeah, they don't
But
really
you give
know.
it to a printer, and a printer will go,
They'll pick at
this,
something.
this 15th one you printed, yeah, it's just a little bit heavy on that right-hand side.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I can pull out a print, and Jasmine will say, "Are you happy with it?" And I'll go, and I'll say no, and she can't see why. She can't see it, and most people can't, but I can. I know in my head what I know why, and I don't know what to do to change it. But that's just manual printing. But
Yeah, you're looking at it with a printer's eye. You've got to look at it with a commercial eye. That's why it's good to have someone in the shop that's not a printer.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
Can look at it and go, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And you'll go, but that right-hand side, look, it's a little bit heavier on that bottom corner.
yeah,
And she'll look at you and go, are you fucking crazy? It's fine.
You can be
Send it.
You can completely be your own worst enemy, and you do need that voice to. You need that voice to just say, "Get a grip, send it out. It's awesome. It looks mint." But you're so self-critical as a printer. I think. I mean, I am anyway. I'm sure other printers are the same. I see everything.
We're all the same. We're all exactly the same. I mean, I know for a fact you can't walk through a department store that sells printed T-shirts without going over, having a look with your fingers, not your eyes, because all printers look with their fingers. You can't just look at a shirt. You've got to touch it, feel it.
Oh yeah.
And if you're with someone, you'll turn around and you go, "That's out of reg."
Let me tell you,
And they'll
this
look
as
at
well.
you like, "You fucking saddo."
Oh no! But not only that, 9 times out of 10, I look at them, I'm like, these are crap.
I wouldn't have sent that out of my
These
shop.
are crap. I mean, we do something and it looks absolutely ace. And it's like, I don't know, maybe like a couple of millimetre slightly lower than where it should be, or just something. And it's like, bleeding hell, we've just done something not very nice to his grandma or something. It's like all hell's on. But then you've got these brands, big brands, who are worth millions and billions, sending out crap. And nobody bats an eyelid. In fact, they pay like 7 times the premium on it. For the anyway, that's another rant. But like,
That's because you're looking at it with a printer's eye. Yeah, you can't.
exactly.
You can't do it.
No.
I mean, I can't walk through a department store now. I've been very careful not to say any names.
no, yeah,
But you know, there is one that sells very cheap clothes, and you look at it and you walk through and you go, look at the state of that. And my wife will catch me and she'll go, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
"Nothing.
no.
I'm just looking." Are you going to buy that? I might do. Well, I wouldn't if I were you, because you're in the kids section. We ain't got any kids. Get out.
Hey, we've set a tone now. We're gonna have to stick to this now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good though, isn't it? It's a good way to introduce people to what they can expect. They probably thought we were going to talk about real technical. No, we're just going to slag off
Yeah, we
Guinness.
haven't got any technical. There's no. Yeah, blackcurrant is the theme, I think. Yeah. That's what this is. This is like a real podcast, but with a little bit of blackcurrant in the top to make it swallowable, make it more palatable.
Aye. Just to take the edge off. That's perfect. I think we'll have to put that on podcast description. That's it. We've nailed it now.
Yeah, it's like a normal podcast, but with a little bit of blackcurrant in it.
Aye, that's the one.
Chippy Tee.
Go on then.
So Chippy Tee, I mean, I love the word Chippy Tee. I think it's great, and it was always a tradition. I'm sure it were in your house as well.
Every Friday.
Friday night.
Aye.
Friday night, for some reason, nobody cooked, and we had a Chippy Tee.
Aye.
And I looked forward to it every Friday night. I thought it would grate me.
It's like Christmas, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah, every Friday. So, you must go to the Chippy.
Yep.
What do you get?
9 times out of 10, fish chips, curry sauce, bread cake, dandelion and burdock. You can't eat chips with dandelion and burdock. I'm pretty sure that's the law.
You just want a flat cap and a whippet.
Get in.
Because that's about as Yorkshire as you can get. If you'd have gone for mushy peas, then
Oh,
absolutely we'd have been sort of like, it would have been like last of the summer wine. But curry sauce, you kept it a bit modern. Well done. I'm proud of you. I'm pleased. What do you call?
Oh, I know where this is going
the
now.
The extras that you get that you don't pay for, which I always get
Scraps.
because you don't pay for them. Bits.
Bits? Come on, it's scraps.
The bits.
Is that
I want a
right?
fish butty with bits on.
With bits, bloody no. No, I call it scraps. We used to go down when I
Scraps.
When I was a kid. I used to have a mate who knew somebody who owned a chip shop, and we'd go in and say, "Can we have a plate of scraps?" And we gave them for free. And every now and again, if we were feeling real flush, we'd get I think it was like a 14p bread cake or something daft.
A scrap sandwich.
Yeah,
a bit sandwich.
Scrap sandwich. Oh, that's something else. Honestly, yeah. I tell you what, I know.
Oh, look how far you've come.
Scrap sandwich.
Oh dear, you've peaked. This is it. You're living the dream.
Honestly. Go on then. 9 times out of 10, you turn up to chip oil. What are you having?
Fish and chips with scraps on and a bread cake. No sauce, no salt and vinegar.
No salt and vinegar?
No salt and vinegar, no. Salt and vinegar ruins the taste. I don't want to taste vinegar, I just want to taste fish.
Yeah, a bit off you. No salt and vinegar.
With a tea cake.
I can't eat out without salt on it.
A nice buttered tea cake. Or if you go a bit further south, it's a cob.
This is an argument. This is how you start a fight. Is it called a bread cake? Hang on, did you just say tea cake? Tea cakes have got raisins in them?
Tea cake, yeah. Oh, stop it.
Honestly.
Stop it. They're not toasted and they don't have currants in them. They're just tea cakes.
I thought me and you were going to get on all right, but...
No. It's strange. You only have to travel about 50 miles in either direction. You go to the west and it's a barm cake.
Yeah.
You go south and it's a cob.
Yeah.
You go over to where you live and it's a bread cake?
Bread cake. Right.
Bread cake, yeah. So it depends where you are.
Yeah, it changes, doesn't it? There's only one right answer, like, obviously.
But us Wesses,
yeah.
us Wesses, we call it a tea cake.
A tea cake.
We'll have to bring it back to screen print.
Go on, let's talk about screen printing.
Yeah, so I mean, we're sort of like going to have a look at the week.
Yeah.
Your week's been not too bad. You've
not
had
too
a
bad.
dryer fail, did you say this week?
Yeah, something's gone wrong somewhere, but
downside. But you've had happy customers.
Happy customers for the most part. Most people are happy. 1 or 2 are not happy, but we'll get it fixed, and all will be good next week, and I'll have a better week. As long as you learn from these things, that's all you can do, innit?
I think my week's consisted of started off in Leicester, Northampton, and then ended up over in Ireland. I'm really, really lucky. I mean, I love my job, really. I'm really lucky in getting to really just stick my nose into other people's business. It's great. Under the pretense that I know what I'm doing. So far, I'm getting away with it, and I'm all right. But it's great to see the levels.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're under an illusion that everybody else is better than us, and we're just blagging it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to tell you, you're not blagging it. Every fucker else is blagging it. I've been into some big shops that are supposedly well known and that I was envious of in the sort of like 90s and 2000s. And you walk in and you're like, they don't know what they're doing.
I know, yeah.
What's going on? I thought these guys were good. And it's really, really eye-opening to see some places. So when you start to sit there and run yourself down like, I wish I were doing it like they were.
Yeah.
We don't believe everything we see on the Instagram.
It's the social media effect, totally is. I mean, you only see everybody's best days for the most part, and it's
nobody takes a picture of the shit job they did and post it on Instagram for everybody to judge, do they? You try and do a little video of what you're doing. You expose the image, you take it to the washout booth, you wash it out, you start developing it, then you realise, oh shit, I didn't press start on the exposure unit. Oh, what a dick.
We had a lad come round and he filmed us a little promo video. I got this 6-colour job, all the screens ready and everything, under the pressure of being filmed, trying to register that bugger. And then when I finally printed it, that added pressure of filming it just turns you into a total shite printer. I don't know what goes on.
Yeah, it takes it all away, doesn't it? You're like, this is going to look awesome. We do this, and then we do this, and then we hold the shirt up and we go, and it looks shit like this. Look. So what you do then is you take a moving shot out of focus, and you keep the shirt moving, and nobody can judge you, because I'm scared to death, me, of posting something on Instagram or on the internet and being judged by every printer in the bleeding world, going, is that out of reg? Is that out of reg? I get people, is that straight? Fuck off.
I bet you don't. It's hard to scroll past like an Instagram print that, someone who's done it and not zoom in. You can't help yourself. I look.
Right, that's me.
Every
No more
time.
posts from me. They're all the wide shots from the machine spinning. I don't forget, I don't print. I'm usually showcasing somebody else's prints. So, yeah. I mean, I do still print, and I just keep my hand in. And I have to get involved. But 9 times out of 10, I'm trying to showcase what somebody else has done.
Yeah.
Or showcase what I've taught them to do.
I bet you'll see a lot of technology. I'm sure you'll have seen the big DT, I forget what they call them, the digital squeegees and
The
stuff
hybrids.
like that. I bet you've seen all
the
that
hybrid
type of
machines.
stuff.
I see a few hybrids.
That's the one, yeah.
Everybody's chasing this dream of a digital machine that can produce as many as a screen print machine and has no mess and no setup and no investment. But, I bought a DTG machine about 15 years ago. And I said at the time, I can see where it's going, and I think it's about 5 years away. We fast forward 15 years, and I still think it's 5 years away.
Yeah.
And I see some high-speed stuff, I see some cutting-edge stuff, I see some brand-new stuff, and at the end of the day, I still reckon I could set up a 6 or 8 colour print and run it and get a great photographic effect.
Yeah.
And it looked better than the DTG.
Yeah.
But what I can't do is I can't do that for 5 pieces.
No, this is the kicker, isn't it?
So it's all about, I tell this story all the time, but it's when I first started, we wouldn't set a job or a press for less than 3,000 pieces. That was your minimum order quantity, because that was a day's work.
Yeah, of course.
And there's no way I'm going to go to all the hassle and shit of making screens, mixing colours, setting up a press for less than a day's work. It's just not worth it. Because that first print that I do, that's the most expensive one. That's cost me 60, 70 quid to do that first print. And I'm going to divide that cost over the next 3,000 to make it worthwhile. But I'm not going to keep doing that. Well, today's market, the guy sat at home at midnight in his pants and he wants 2 shirts of his dog on the toilet with a funny caption underneath it. And you're like, I can't do that on my press. I've set up to do 3,000 pieces. Do you want 3,000 pictures of your dog on the toilet? No. I just want 2. One for me and one for our lass. Right.
We get a phone call all the time.
I know, yeah, but
just not doable.
You can't piss them off.
You've got to be polite.
You've got to try and sort of like point them in the right direction as to, look, that's not what we do. If you want, what's your minimum? What's the point where you say no? Somebody wants a 3-colour job.
3-colour 20. And that's something that I'm
20 pieces.
20 prints, yeah. And it's actually something that's been sort of looking into this week and running spreadsheets and all that boring shite. Try to get my head around how cost effective it is to even be doing stuff as low as 20. I still want to do 20 as a minimum.
Does it depend what day it is?
No. I've got our price is kind of set in stone. It's a table. It never adapts. It never moves. It doesn't take anything into consideration as far as how long it's going to take me. It's literally price brackets. I don't know, 20 to 50, etc., etc. How many colours? That's it. I could do a 6-colour job, and then I could do another 6-colour job. One might take me a day. One might take me 2 days, but I'm going to charge the same price. So I'm trying to come up with a new way of doing it where it's more priced on literally how many times I've got to pull a squeegee to finish a job.
Really? And then you're going to assign a time value to that. You've got to assign time values to stuff, because at the end of the day, we're not printing shirts, we're not selling shirts, we're selling time. So if something takes more time, it's more expensive. If I can do a job in an hour, you're going to pay me for an hour's worth of my time.
Yeah, of course.
If that job takes me 3 hours, you need to pay me for 3 hours of my time.
Yeah. Well, this has been something that's been letting me down for a while. Having those standard prices in print brackets, it just takes no consideration at all into how long it's actually going to take, which is stupid.
You do that, and then you find out it's on polyester, there's 3 colour changes, there's a name drop on the back, and you're like, hang on, I only charged £2.50 for this.
Yeah. So
and I'm going to be on it half a day.
I mean, the amount of times you have to flash it as well, it all adds up.
Manual, yeah, it goes round and round. Yeah, you'd be better off putting a tenner in the box, sending in the box and saying, right, I'm only a tenner down, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, sometimes you do, don't you? Sometimes you're like, why do I even bother? But anyway.
Yeah.
I forgot what your original question was.
I don't know, we just go off on tangents. It's fine.
Yeah, so I've had my face in spreadsheets all week, and I've had my invoices out. I've got like 20 invoices here printed from like the past week, and then I've compared them all with the new price, and then I've got some that are a couple of quid more expensive, 20, 25 quid, whatever, and then I've got some that are a couple £100 cheaper, or some that are a couple of £100 more expensive.
Oh, screw that! No, don't be doing it cheaper.
No, well, you can't now at the minute. Everything's going crazy.
Yeah, you got to try and factor inflation in. Yeah.
Oh, it's driving me mad. It's bleeding too hard. Maybe I'm just going to have to get like some sort of just somebody to do it, I guess, because I'm not a mathematician. I can't even count.
No, you've got to work out what can you possibly. I try and work out what can I possibly print in a day. In a perfect day, when everything goes right, and I've prayed and I've paid my duties to the squeegee gods. I've left a little sacrifice of a cookie next to the ink pot where all the plastisol goblins live, and hopefully, how many pieces can I actually print, or in your idea, times can I pull the squeegee?
Yeah.
Pull, remember, not push. How many times can I pull the squeegee in an 8-hour day? And that's the maximum money I can earn. And then try and sort of work backwards from there. Right, okay, now we've got to factor in that, something went wrong, something's different, we've got to go around twice. Jasmine's got arse on, so they've got nobody in today to help you. All these things come into account as to working backwards from that maximum that you can print.
Yeah.
If somebody said to you, how many one-colour jobs, how many one-colour prints can you do in a day? Start at, what time do you start? About 9:30 if you're a printer?
Oh, 8:30. Give me an hour at least. Give me an hour.
So 8:30 while 5, yeah?
Halfway, yeah, maybe longer, but on a typical day, if we average it, let's say 9 till 5, but we all have those all-nighters, don't we, and stuff every now and again.
So 9 to 5.
Let's go 9 to 5.
I've got your 10,000 one-colour prints on a white T-shirt. It says, "Choose love, Danny," in big wham letters.
Yeah.
How many a day can you get out?
Right, let me have it. I reckon I can do...
Just you.
Just
Nobody
me.
helping you.
Yeah, that slows it down a bit. I have tried this as well. We had an order for an hospice, and we did I think we did 12,000 in the end, and there were bright pink neon T-shirts, black print, front and back, and I'm pretty sure I got close to a couple of thousand prints in a day, but I was absolutely exhausted doing it. Like, I absolutely gave everything.
I bet you felt it, didn't you?
Oh, I was buggered.
I bet you felt it.
And also, for a good month, my snot were bright pink. I was blowing pink fluff out of my nose for a month. I'm not even joking, honestly. My lungs are probably like bright pink T-shirt lined across it. Absolutely. It just got everywhere.
Look like an 80s gym advert. Your snot looks like an 80s gym advert covered in bright pink lycra.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, and that's where you start from. So these are like your theoretical maximums, as what you can do. Then you start to divide that down, and you start to work out your print costs and your ink costs and your screen costs and how much coffee you've had to go through just to keep going, and try and work it backwards. But you need to start with some metrics that you can actually use to divide down without getting too boring.
Yeah, it is. It's very boring, really.
If 2,000 prints a day is your maximum, but you don't want to do that and you take it to 1,500, then you've got a price. But if you say And you start to work out, right, okay, well, I'm going to imagine that all my screens are made and I don't have to stop printing to make them. So how long does it take me to set up? And you start to work out that way. And without getting, super boring, you come up with a bit of a clue and an idea as to what's possible. And then you want to work out, how much money do I want to earn? What's my day worth? If Tony rang me up and said, right, Danny, I've got a printer down the road. His printer has had the day off because his sister's cat's got anxiety. Then can you come in and work? And how much do you want for the day? And then we sort of like try and work it backwards like that.
Yeah, it's all very reverse engineer it, don't you, until you get to some sort of figure that makes sense. Maybe, and I'm sure a lot of printers do. I'm going to look at his prices and I'm just going to make it a bit cheaper. Never done that because that's just stupid.
I think you're right to do that as well because you've got your own value. They might not be paying VAT. They might be employing the mother-in-law to fold shirts at the end of the dryer. They might have a reduced rate on business. They might not have any rent to pay. So you can't do that. You can't compare apples for pears. You've got to just think, right, what do I want paying for a day's work? If Tony rang me up and said, right, come and work in my shop for a day, what do I want for it? I couldn't afford you, by the way, so don't worry.
I couldn't tell you a price anyway. I've not got that. I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, you can't be too far out of the ballpark, but you can't take notice of what other people are doing. That's something I've always tried to do, just to be
it's crazy.
Completely just doing my own thing with it.
Yeah, that's the only way forward. You drive yourself crazy looking over the neighbour's fence.
It's that Instagram print shop envy thing, innit?
Yeah. It's there's definitely, there might not be a glittery filter on there, but trust me, you're not seeing the real thing.
But sometimes I look at print shops and I see them, especially when they've not been seen for a while. And I see autos and I think, what the flipping hell do I do wrong? But it'll come. We'll get there in the end. Once the old podcast gets up to Joe Rogan levels.
There you go. You might get sponsored by a machine manufacturer and they'll give you a press for free to talk about it.
Oh, I'll be buzzing. I'll be mint. I'll do. And I'll film it for them. When I get it and I open it and I cry, I'll film it, and then we can put that on their socials and go, our machines are so good it brings grown men to tears.
Grown men to tears. There you go. There's your boner moment that you're looking for. Absolutely awesome.
That'll be the one.
Right, I think we've prattled on long enough. Shall we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up. Have you got a little outro planned in your radio voice, or are you we're just gonna do it off at cuff?
No, is the short answer.
I'm sure there's like a list of things you're supposed to say, but subscribe, like, and comment.
Well, we can tag. Oh yeah, we got subscribe. So this has been right. Are we ready? This has been a podcast called Chippy Tee. Friday night, something to look forward to. You've been listening to me, Tony Palmer, and Danny Donald from Flippin' Sweet. And if you don't mind listening to us prattle on about bread cakes and blackcurrant, then hit the like button, subscribe on your usual channels. See you next week.
Civvy,
absolute bullshit made up out of my head.
It was good though.
I'm sure
I believed it.
Something better.
I'll have to subscribe.
Yeah, but you cry at machinery, so you believe anything. If I don't see thee through week, I'll see thee through window. Like
we'll get sued off Keith Lemon now. Chuffing, no.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's his, isn't it? Yeah, we'll leave him alone. Right. We'll get your cease and desist letter from What's he called? His real name?
Lee Francis. That's it, isn't it?
Lee Francis.
Hey, I tell you. Oh God, I know we're signing out, but he actually wore a shirt that I printed. So that's cool, isn't it?
Check you out.
All right, isn't it?
Wait, metallic.
It was metallic. Perfect way to end it. Nailed it.
We're gonna leave it there.
Get in.